Silence is not always manipulation. Sometimes silence is healthy space. The difference is whether there is a clear path back to the conversation. A healthy pause has shape. It can sound like I need an hour and I will come back to this. Punishing silence has no shape. It leaves you guessing, and the guessing becomes the leverage. The pattern starts in a familiar moment that looks normal until you slow it down. The pressure starts when no reply becomes a rule. You learn which topics make them disappear. You learn which boundaries cost you warmth. You start managing the silence before anyone has clearly named the problem. That is the script. They go quiet, you chase. You send one message, then another. You explain more than you meant to. You apologize for things you are not even sure you did. Separate healthy space from silence used as pressure or punishment. The text message loop is simple and painful. Silence, double text, over-explanation, apology without clarity. By the end, the original issue is gone and your distress has become the new topic. The trap is that chasing can feel responsible. You tell yourself you are trying to repair, but if repair only happens after you panic, over-explain, or erase your concern, the relationship is training you to abandon your own clarity. A grounded move is to send one calm message with a clear door back to the conversation. Something like, "I am open to talking," when we can name the issue directly. Then stop feeding the pressure loop. No reply can become a script that makes someone over-explain. One message is enough when the goal is repair. 6 messages usually train the pattern to wait until you negotiate against yourself. Stopping does not mean you do not care. It means you are refusing to negotiate with absence. If someone needs time, your pause gives them room. If someone needs control, your pause removes the reward. Watch what happens when you stop chasing. A repair-oriented person can return with language. They may still be upset, but they can name the problem. A controlling pattern often returns with blame for the fact that you stopped performing distress. One grounded move that avoids chasing, escalating, or retaliating. The decision rule is clear. Send one open door back to the conversation, then stop feeding the pressure loop. If they want repair, the door is there. If they want leverage, the performance is over. This is why the difference between space and punishment matters. Space protects the conversation. Punishment avoids the conversation while making you pay emotionally. One has a path back, the other keeps the path hidden. The takeaway is simple. Do not turn silence into your assignment. Offer one clear opening, keep your dignity, and wait for direct communication. Real repair should not require you to chase a locked door. A useful clue is whether the pause has a return time. Space can be uncomfortable, but it usually gives the relationship a way to continue. Punishment keeps the ending open, so your anxiety starts doing the work for them. Once that pattern is learned, you may start censoring yourself before the silence even happens. You avoid the topic, soften the boundary, or apologize in advance because you already know what absence feels like. That is how quiet control becomes loud inside your own head. The other person may not be saying anything, but your mind is rehearsing every possible mistake and trying to buy warmth back with extra explanation. The first repair test is directness. Can they say what hurt, what they need, and when they are ready to talk? If the answer is never specific, the silence may be functioning less like a break and more like leverage. The second test is proportionality. A short pause after a tense conversation is different from days of disappearance over a normal question. When the reaction is much bigger than the issue, the silence starts becoming the message. Do not reward that message with a performance of panic. One respectful opening is enough. After that, your job is not to keep proving that you care while the other person withholds the basic terms of repair. This does not mean you become cold. It means your care gets structure. You can be available for a clear conversation without becoming available for endless guessing. A person who wants repair may need time, but they do not need your self-abandonment. They can return with language. They can own their part. They can let the original issue exist without turning your distress into the offense. A controlling pattern often reacts differently. It may punish your calm, mock your boundary, or accuse you of not caring because you stopped chasing. That reaction tells you the chase was part of the reward. The point is to make silence less powerful by refusing to treat it as a command. Keep the door open for direct communication, but stop letting absence rewrite your standards. Bring this back to the silent treatment script that makes you chase them without making it bigger than it needs to be. The useful move is to notice the small, repeatable shift. What changed after the interaction? Did you gain a clearer choice, or did you become more anxious about choosing at all? That question matters because manipulation often hides inside aftermath. The conversation may sound normal while it is happening. The cost shows up later, when you are replaying every sentence, softening your own memory, and trying to make the confusing part your responsibility. A grounded person can hear a clear question without turning it into a loyalty test. They may disagree, but they do not need to punish the question. That is one of the simplest ways to separate tension from control. You can also ask what the pattern rewards. Does it reward honesty, repair, and clearer boundaries? Or does it reward silence, guessing, over-explaining, and emotional self-abandonment? Patterns become easier to understand when you look at what they train you to do. If the answer is uncomfortable, move slowly. You do not need a dramatic confrontation to start protecting your judgment. Sometimes the first healthy step is just refusing to make a permanent decision while you are confused, rushed, guilty, or emotionally cornered. The final reminder is this. Clarity should make your world more workable. It should help you name the next honest step. If a person, tool, or system keeps giving you intensity without clarity, treat that as a signal to slow down and widen your perspective. A second useful lens is repetition over mood. Anyone can have a tense day. Anyone can communicate poorly once. The question is whether the same emotional shape keeps returning, and whether you are always the one who has to shrink, chase, prove, or apologize to restore peace. That is why the safest advice is usually boring. Slow down, name facts, keep records, ask for specifics. Wait until your body is calm before sending the message that could be forwarded, cropped, or used as the new topic. It also helps to separate urgency from importance. Something can feel urgent because your nervous system wants relief, not because a wise decision is required in the next 5 minutes. When the pressure spikes, time is often the protection. The strongest boundary is not always a dramatic speech. Sometimes it is a smaller pattern repeated calmly. Fewer explanations, clearer questions. One message instead of 6. A decision made after sleep instead of during panic. That is the viewer promise, not a perfect label, not a fantasy where every confusing person is exposed instantly. The promise is a sharper pause between stimulus and response, so the next move belongs to the viewer instead of the pattern. For content, this matters because the audience does not need another scary label. They need a repeatable decision rule. If a moment makes them abandon facts and chase emotional relief, that is the exact point where the lesson becomes useful. End by returning to agency. The viewer cannot control whether someone else becomes clear, fair, or consistent. They can control the speed of their response, the quality of their notes, the questions they ask, and the point where they stop rewarding confusion. If this pattern has trained you to over-explain, save this before the next silence starts writing your side for you. The related shorts break down the chase signals, and subscribing keeps these patterns easier to name in real time.